Have you guys heard about the commencement speakers getting booed off stage at big universities? The former CEO of Google booed off stage during his commencement speech. Now, I don't think he really left the stage, but for what? Talking about and touting AI and the use of AI. So, the next 2 weeks, we're going to talk about what to do and not do with AI because frankly, using AI can also be a pitfall. So this week, we're going to talk about the cool things it can do. And for those of you who are on the other side of the fence, like the dude in the Facebook group who called me an idiot or something way worse than that for talking about how AI is an awesome tool, stay tuned next week and I'll talk about what not to do, the things that are causing people to get booed off stage. I don't want you to get booed out of your next appointment. What's up, guys? It's Mike Ferrante here doing Tuesday training like we do every week, 11:30 to about 11:50 Eastern time. And we do this free training every week for agents. We actually do a lot of free stuff for agents. So not only training, check out our YouTube channel, smash the subscribe button so you can catch these sessions. If you can't join live, go to Free Beer and Real Estate for the podcast. And of course, we're streaming on Facebook. Hi, Facebook. You can go there and watch these sessions. You can also follow the Mike team on Facebook to see our classes and events. So CE classes, and every Saturday, we hop on role play. Anyone from anywhere, any company, any city, we don't care. Hop on and practice role play with us. A lot of my teammates are on here, and they get so much better at running scripts and dialogues, so much better on appointments, at open houses, listing appointments, buyer consultations. We do it all. So just hit me up. It's Mike at 21mike.com. Team leads, brokers, if you want your agents to practice. I've set it up for you. All you have to do is tell him, hey, email this dude, and he'll send you the link and the calendar invitation, and you can practice with us. I think I said practice like 5 times. Who am I, Alan Iverson? Anyway, let's get back to the topic, which is AI. And so, what I did today, I made a list, and I'm going to briefly explain as many workflows as I can get through because teaser for next week, I'll go through the mistakes. Come back next week and I'll tell you, don't do these things. Okay, you're using AI to do these things, but here are the things that are getting people booed out of the appointment or the stage or whatever. But what I did today is I made a list and I have some brief descriptions for you for what you can use AI for. It should be a tool. Okay. My argument, and the dude that said that I was an idiot was basically saying that AI is dumbing down human beings. The movie Idiocracy is coming to reality. Okay. And I don't disagree. I'm not saying that you should stop doing things and just let AI do everything for you, because the biggest pitfall is when you put something out into the world and someone says, Mike used AI for that. It's cheating. Basically, people are saying, looking at you going, you're cheating. That didn't come from you. That came from ChatGPT. That came from Claude. And if they can tell, that's when you're going to get booed. All right. So, but there are a bunch of things that you can use it for. It's a tool. Okay. The argument I made is that, look, all right, then go get your buggy and horse and don't drive a car anymore. Don't use a nail gun. Use a hammer. Use a shovel. Don't use an excavator. Okay, these are tools to be used. And yes, used incorrectly, you can do a lot of damage with them. You could hit a gas line if you don't call oops. In our state, it's called oops. Isn't that funny? When you call before you dig, you call 811 and they mark it for you so you don't hit the gas line. It's OUPS, oops. But here are the 10 workflows. Okay, I'm going to get through as many as I can. If you want to get the full list from me, you can email me, Mike at 21mike.com. But here are the workflows. All right. So I'm just going to run down through these real quick. Number one, listing marketing machine. Okay, you get a new listing. What do? You have a checklist and you sit there and do every single part of the process. What if you could plug it into AI and it spits out a draft for you that naturally you would check? Okay, the number one thing in the listing marketing machine is the MLS description. And I know a bunch of agents are saying, yeah, Mike, I'm doing that. But guess what? You guys are writing descriptions for your listings that sound like AI wrote them. And that's a problem. They're too long, they're too flowery, whatever. But you have to train your chat, your Claude, whatever, to write MLS descriptions. that don't sound like AI. And secondly, that check the SEO and GEO buttons. Okay, because listen, we could talk about portal wars, which we're going to talk about again, this Zillow Compass feud that's happening and the brokers lining up on different sides. The reality is that our business is going to be revolutionized once again. People aren't going to stop going to third-party websites. They're going to stop going to abcrealty.com to look for homes. They're going to use AI to look for homes. So if you're not coming up in chat and Claude and all that stuff, you're going to be doing it wrong. But anyway, you can, done correctly, it can write your descriptions. A different description possibly for third-party websites, for your Facebook posts. Okay, you guys are sitting there going, well, Mike, I don't have time to do all this stuff. What if it was done for you? Facebook, Instagram, Google business profile posts. Are you putting your listings on Google Business? Do you have a Google Business page? You can use AI to help set up your Google Business page if you don't. YouTube video descriptions. You can draft emails with it to go out to your sphere, to your database, if you know you have a certain city and you have a buyer list for that city. So all of these things can be done for you in a checklist. And if you have gotten Claude, Claude has a feature called Co-work where you can plug it in and just say, do this. Okay, so co-work, I'm going to get into that a little bit as well. But these workflows are typically projects or artifacts or whatever AI you're using. You set it all up ahead of time. It's like a template. Okay, you set up a template, and guess what? There's a lot of big coaches and trainers out there who've set them up for you. I use a listing description creator from a guy named Rajiv. I followed one of his trainings. I watched one of his trainings, and then I found him because he told me in the training about all the different templates, basically custom GPTs that he set up. His is great. So why would I create my own? Okay, so basically, I use his template to create my descriptions, and it's excellent. So number one, listing marketing machine. Number two, this is my favorite one. I don't know why I made it number two, but video content repurposing. So again, you create a video. Let's say it's a long form video, a training, a buyer, why they should work with you video, and it's 20 minutes long. Did you know that you could repurpose that content into a blog? And you're like, oh, Mike, I don't have time to blog. Yes, you do. If you have time to make one video, you use AI to convert that into a blog, into a newsletter article, a part of your newsletter. That's what we do. So we do these weekly trainings, and I have a weekly email that goes out to agents that includes this content. It'll be weird. I wonder if including it in the email to the agents will be in the email to the agents. It'll be interesting to see how that comes out because I still have human beings checking this stuff at the end because AI could still spit out nonsense and I don't want to look like an idiot. I don't want to get booed off stage by my agents that are in my audience. Convert it to an article, Facebook post, LinkedIn article. You can take long form videos and chop it up into short form videos. Yes, Opus Clip does that, but did you know you could use AI to do the same thing? And then how about a podcast and the podcast summary? One piece of content can become 10. And it's just like that. If you have the template set up and ready to go to create the content for you. All right, I have one that I use and it's for listing appointment prep. I have a project set up in Claude that I got from a Tom Ferry coach, and then I tweaked it. Okay. I went into the instructions. It's just the three dots. You click the thing and edit. And I changed the instructions a little bit because it was set up in a way that suited her market. Also, I didn't want mine to spit out price recommendations. How can you give price recommendations without having seen the property and having a conversation with the sellers? So mine is more generalized, but let me tell you about my listing appointment prep project that I have set up. Basically, I plug in an address. I'll give it the links that I want it to consider. So on the last one I just did, I gave it Zillow, I gave it Realtor.com, and I could also give it Redfin or any others. And I'm going to say, look, I know the clients are looking at this stuff, so include this data in the listing appointment prep. It's the elephant in the room. But Zillow says those three words that every agent hates hearing on a listing appointment. And then, of course, if you're Mike Pillow, you just say, forget Zillow, call Pillow. I had to slide that in, Mike. So I want that information on the report. And by giving it the links, it will go and find it. So for all you naysayers, I'm going to throw a naysayer comment in here real quick because I know I'm going to hear it. But Mike, it is less valuable when AI does it. You should go and do that research. No, I shouldn't. If I have a tool, if I have an assistant, a virtual assistant who could go find that information for me and make a rough draft of something that I can massage when it's done, why wouldn't I do that? I mean, by that argument, I shouldn't have any of the staff members that I have. I should do everything myself. And of course, that limits my capacity. I have two transaction coordinators because we have 40, 50 deals pending at a time. It's also a service that we offer to agents, like the little plug for the mic team there. So anyway, listing appointment prep. I plug in those websites that are anchors for opinion of value. I plug in information from tax records. I still run my own comps. Okay. There's a purpose behind that, right? I don't want it to just pick comps that don't work and then have to double check them. I say, here are 2, 3, 5 comps that I think are the best ones, but I still want you to go look for more because occasionally it finds one that I didn't, occasionally, rarely. So I give it comps. I give it any property information I can find, including old MLS listings. But I say this is an old MLS listing, so take this with a grain of salt. And you can use jargon like that with it. You can say this may not be accurate. This is 5 years old. And I literally just copy and paste this information into the project that I have set up. It that my template says come up with one page that has potential objections about the property. It's old, it's small, it's too much land, it's close to the freeway. Tell me about any area amenities. My project says, hey, I came up with all this stuff. Here's the benefits of the property. It's close to shopping, it's close to freeway access, it's close to schools because it looks at the map for me and it's all in the setup. So mine has instructions and it says, make me a cover page, make me a page that talks about the comps and the overall market time. Is it a buyer's market? Is it a seller's market? Analyze the data, look at days on market and talk about that. This prompt for this project is this long. Okay. It's probably 5 pages long of text. And again, I got it from someone else and tweaked it. So those of you saying, I don't have time to create this, Mike, I don't know how to create it, go find the content. It is out there. Discussion points, potential objections, and how to answer them. The house needs updating. Well, it's priced appropriately. Claude comes up with a nice format of potential objections and how to answer them. And then I fed it my information on how we market properties. And I said, come up with another page. Mine is about 8 pages long when it's done. And I have one page that is sort of a summary marketing plan, my contact information. I give it my headshot. I give it my realtor logo, my fair housing logo, company logo, and it works it in. It works it in very logically. And it's a beautiful 8 page document when it's done that needs a little bit of editing by me. I double check it, of course, but I'm now ready for a listing appointment. My wife, Brenda, who's got years of experience in the business, used to be a transaction coordinator. She used to be an assistant. She used to be the AI for the big agents that she worked for. Judy would say, Brenda, I got this listing appointment. Put together a package for me. Get me the comps. I just want to show up and say, here's my presentation. And they would just do the heavy lifting. All we're doing is getting a rough draft of all that information like that, and I still have to review it. Now, my people can focus on even higher level tasks. So, all you students that were booing the AI speakers, I get it. You're scared. You're out there trying to get entry level jobs, and you're saying AI is replacing me. Boo, boo. You just have to learn different skills, learn to use AI as a tool, figure out what the next thing is. The all the people that were taking care of the horses we used to ride, the stable hands, is that what they call them? The stable boys? They had to become car mechanics, right? It's just a progression. It's a change in technology, and you have to master the new technology and change your skills. I mean, we should always be developing new skills, right? So take that guy on Facebook who said I was an idiot. Market update content factory. I love this one because it uses the word factory, but you can feed it. Actually, you can tell it, go get the stats, or you can feed it the stats. You can run a report in your MLS, but there's ways to connect. I haven't done this one yet. I'll be totally honest. Um, Claude, you can give Claude access to your stuff, access to your email, to your Google Drive. I'll tell you how I use that in a second. You can say, go get the stats, take those stats and turn it into content I can use. Turn it into charts and graphs and written word, newsletter article, video outline, blog posts, social media posts, talking points for appointments. We already need this data. Why not let AI turn it into usable formats? Let me tell you real quick how I'm using Claude. I have a co-work set up and it's writing content. And I know this is a little dangerous because some of it I look at and say that needs to be better. But basically what I do is I have a co-work set up where Claude starts running automatically and it has a list of cities that I want to write content about. I've given it several pages of instructions that I stole from someone else. I didn't steal it. They gave it willingly. There's people out there creating this stuff and they say, take it, use it, please. So I tweaked it to my market, to the amount of range I want to hit. And I have a rotation. I said, these 5 cities I want to hit every single week. And then I want to start adding cities. And here are the cities I want to add. And it's going to do this forever. Every week, it creates 25 blog posts and 5 Google business posts just about my local market. It creates the content. I learned what a slug is for a blog. Apparently, that's like the little byline, the little tagline that makes it findable. So if people are saying, "Hey, tell me about bike paths in Solon," and if bike paths in Solon is in one of my blogs, they'll find my blog. They'll find me because I know about this stuff. So Claude is writing my blogs, creating the slugs. We proofread them. Sometimes it was making up a phone number. It was making up a website, which was maddening. So I had to add in the instructions. I would say, "Where did you get this phone number?" Actually, I would ask it first. "Where'd you get this phone number?" "Oh, sorry. Sorry. I don't know. Don't know where I got that." So I went back in the instructions and I clarified. I said, "Use this phone number. Use this website. Don't don't make up the content." You would think, why would you need to say don't make stuff up? But that's what I did. And so every week we check it. We make sure the phone numbers are right. We make sure the content looks good, that it's not making up crazy stories. And so every week I've got 25 blog posts ready to go and 5 Google business posts. And that I just sometimes I have to click the button and say, "Hey, did you forget? Start." Otherwise, if my computer's on and Claude is open, it just runs. And within about 10 minutes, it creates that content. Now, Claude is kind of interesting because I'm already seeing we're running out of credits even at $20 a month. So those of you wondering, hey, Mike, how much does all this cost? There are, of course, free versions, but if you're doing big projects like this, you'll run out of capacity pretty quickly, especially with Claude. ChatGPT, still free, but I've had the $20 a month version since it came out. I figured I'm going to be using the heck out of this. I believed my coach, and he was right. $20 a month for an elevated version of ChatGPT. I never run out of capacity with ChatGPT. I think that both are good tools right now. I think that Claude might be a half step ahead of Chat as far as what it can do independently. As they say, agentic AI. It's doing this stuff for me. It's almost like an employee. All right, so guys, I think I got through 5 of them there. I've got 10 different workflow ideas that you can set up in AI, and your people or you can click a button, give it information. You can set it up so that it asks you the questions. Hey, how about the comps? Are you going to give me comps? Are you going to give me a photo for my listing presentation? It reminds me if I forget, hey, I built it, but there's a spot here to put a photo. Do you want to put it in or do you want to give it to me and I'll put it in? It's like having another person working with you. Why not use it? I used to do all this stuff. I used to do my own listing prep. Now Claude does 95% of it for me, and I'm just checking Claude's work. All right, guys, that's what I have for you today. Next week, I'm going to hit the pitfalls because I know there's a lot of people saying, Mike, I'm still resisting. There's so many people that are against AI. And listen, I don't want you to walk into an appointment and say the wrong thing. To have your seller say, well, why do I need you if all this was done by AI? It's a valid question because if you're using AI wrong, you're going to get resistance. You're going to get booed out of the appointment. Hope you like that analogy. All right, guys, go to 21mike.com, click the button if you want to talk with me some more, and I will be here again next week with more training. Hit me up if you want to join us for a role play. Guys, we've been having such great role plays lately. We had 3 rooms of role play going last week, and having fresh blood in the room really made a difference. Thanks. See you soon.